Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 294 based on novel. So let's start. Where is this? Just after returning to his residence, Xiao Yan immediately returned to his room non-stop, setting up a series of defensive barriers, so the guy in the cage spoke slowly. Don't worry, this is my room. Xiao Yan looked at the young man trapped in the cage, and immediately smiled. The kind of intimacy that came from the same bloodline made Xiao Yan quite happy. Why do you want to save me? The next moment, the young man in the cage stared at Xiao Yan slowly. He was hesitating to speak. Obviously he had more or less doubts in his heart. If I expected it well, you should have the same blood power as mine. Xiao Yan came to the cage, bent slightly, and said immediately, Humph. I don't want this bloodline. If it weren't for him, how could my mother die? I saw him kill my mother with my own eyes. Such a person is not worthy of being my father, my bloodline. I'd rather give it back to him. The next moment, Xiao Gui frowned in the cage, and a violent aura suddenly spread out. When Xiao Yang mentioned the power of bloodline, the whole person was as if soul beasts are generally hideous. It seems that this guy has been hit a lot. Xiao Yang heard the words, also saw the emotional instability of this guy, and immediately shook his head. Everything has a cause and effect. What you see is not necessarily true. It may be someone else's conspiracy. Xiao Yang explained. But, Xiao Gui in the cage heard the words, his violent aura suddenly quieted down, and then he muttered to himself, what Xiao Yang said was not without reason. Tell me what happened, and I'll help you solve it. After all, we are of the same race. Xiao Yang grinned like a big brother and comforted him. At the time, the Xiao family was in great chaos, and my father and mother had just met at that time. So a series of things happened, and they finally came together. However, after the Xiao family completely disappeared, only the pregnant mother was left behind. He was waiting for his father in the ghost realm, and not long after the Xiao family disappeared, his father came to the ghost realm without knowing it. He originally wanted to take his mother and himself, but was discovered by the senior management of Li Soul Realm, so he fought. I want to capture my father. At that time, I had just been born and was still in an infancy, but I clearly saw my father kill my mother with one blow and then leave. That kind of shocking thing, even after decades, is still vivid in my mind, so I can't accept that kind of blow. One person ran out of Li Soul territory and wandered around, and was later caught by the Yinhunshan powerhouse, so there is this scene. Xiao Gui's gloomy ghost and human anger continued to haunt his body, and even his emotions became extremely excited. Li Soul domain. This is impossible. Our Xiao family will never have such a ruthless and unrighteous guy. Xiao Yang heard the words and directly concluded. But that's what I saw with my own eyes. Could it be fake? In an instant, Xiao Gui roared at Xiao Yang with a hint of weeping and resentment. It's still an infant watching his father kill his mother with his own eyes. I'm afraid there is nothing more cruel than this. There must be something strange about this matter, and I will help you investigate it clearly. Trust me. Looking at Xiao Gui, who was extremely unstable, Xiao Yang comforted. The next time I see him, I will kill him myself. After hearing Xiao Yang's voice, Xiao Gui also calmed down, but the cold killing intent spread out suddenly. By the way, since you said that you ran out of Li Soul territory, what about your mother? Xiao Yang asked as if he remembered something. My mother is a disciple of the 5 academies in Li Soul territory. She is kind by nature and never kills innocent people indiscriminately. Even an ant is reluctant to trample to death. Xiao Gui recalled. The 5th Academy of Li Soul Domain? Suddenly, it was Xiao Yang's turn to be surprised. The Lord of Li Soul can be said to be a strong man who rules countless planes, and this Li Soul Domain is to assist the Lord of Li Soul to manage countless planes. The 5 courtyards here almost represent the top of Li Soul Domain. Strength. Mother is the chief disciple of the Earth Spirit Academy. Because she went out to other planes to maintain order, she saved her father who was at stake. At that time, the Xiao clan had already been united against by the Great Thousand Worlds, and the mother had high respect for the Xiao clan's resistance to foreign evil clans, so she took her father back to the Earth Spirit Academy, secretly helping him heal his injuries, and after healing his father's injuries. The two also developed some affection. After the father left the ghost world, he told the mother that he would come back to pick up the mother, so this wait is a long time. But the good times don't last long. The next time my father appears in the ghost world, his strength skyrockets, but after all, the Earth Spirit Academy is as strong as a cloud. My father just appeared, and his true identity was discovered by the Supreme One, so he confronted his father. The highest level of kills. And that battle, my father almost fell. In the end, I don't know why, he killed his mother with his own hands, and finally broke through the plane and left the ghost world. Xiao Gui's expression changed, and he said word by word. Don't worry, I am afraid there is a huge misunderstanding in this, I will help you solve it. Xiao Yang looked at Xiao Gui in such a state, and slowly comforted, but there was also a sense of Xiao Gui's words immediately. There are many doubts, and immediately secretly remember what Xiao Gui said at this time, and he will definitely give Xiao Gui a satisfactory answer in the future. I'll help you untie the cage first. The breath in your body is floating. First stabilize the breath, and then tidy up your face. When the 4 continents contest is over, I will accompany you to Li Huanyu to investigate this matter thoroughly. Xiao Yang said with a smile. Thank you, but this is my own business, and the material of this cage is extremely. Xiao Gui was dumbfounded for a while, but before he could finish speaking, Xiao Yang also took action. Boom. After a while, a dazzling 2-color holy flame suddenly appeared in Xiao Yang's body, and then lightly wrapped around the cage, and the cage quickly melted like a moth to a flame. These are some healing medicine pills, take a good rest. Leaving some medicine pills behind, he immediately set up a soul barrier to protect Xiao Gui, so Xiao Yang slowly exited the house. Mother, people from the Xiao family, can you really trust them? Looking at this guy from the Xiao family, my father shouldn't be so heartless. Could it be that there is really any misunderstanding? Xiao Gui immediately felt warm when he saw Xiao Yang's actions. There are countless people who want to arrest and kill him, but it seems that no one treats him like Xiao Yang, making Xiao Gui slightly moved. Crash. The next moment, Xiao Gui swallowed all the medicine pill left by Xiao Yang, so the breath on his body slowly recovered, and then he quietly closed his eyes and rested. Damn little bastards. Mu Shi, who had returned to his residence in the distance, scolded slowly at this time, because relying on the connection between his heart and the cage, he was surprised to find that Xiao Yang had already cracked the cage. Time passed quietly, and in the blink of an eye, there were only 3 days left before the 4 continents competition. During these times, Xiao Yang was in his residence, carefully teaching Xiao Gui some common sense of life. As he got to know more and more deeply, Xiao Yang also discovered that in this Xiao Gui, the 2 powers of anger and anger were cultivated. He has a unique advantage, and after recovering his internal injuries, this guy's strength has reached the rare mid-3-star fighting immortal stage, which makes Xiao Yang feel ashamed. Even this guy has some extremely special powers in his body, even if it is Soul Eater. The Lord can't explain it. As the time of the 4 continents competition is getting closer and closer, the entire Xifeng city of Tianming Mountain Villa has also become hot, because these 4 continents competitions are not only related to their 4 continents ranking and resource allocation, but also related to entering Li Soul Domain has an inescapable relationship. After all, only by winning the championship or performing well in the 4 continents competition can you be qualified to join Li Soul Domain, and once you enter Li Soul Domain, it will prove that your future achievements are limitless. It is also a scene that Yinhunshan Xizhou powerhouses desperately hope. Xifeng City, the Forging Knife Thunder Valley resident. Father, do you have something to do with me? In a quiet courtyard, the figures of Du Qifei and Du Tianhong slowly appeared, and Du Qifei said immediately. Since arriving here, many contestants in the Thunder Valley of Forging Swords have stayed behind closed doors, focusing on their understanding and cultivation. After all, although Dongju is said to be rich in energy, it is not the most fertile place in Xizhou. Feiya, what's the current situation of that thing in your body? Duo Tianhong said with a smile, but he was more or less worried. After all, the fluctuation of reincarnation is like the peak of the world, even if Xiao Yang said it. It won't affect Du Qifei, so I'm still a little worried. Don't worry, father, that thing is very calm now. As long as there is no life and death crisis, my daughter will naturally not take the initiative to touch it. Du Qifei smiled playfully after hearing this. That's the best way. By the way, what has Xiao Yang been doing recently? Why has he been locked out of the house all the time? Could it be that he is retreating again? Du and Tianhong asked in the next moment. It should be, I haven't seen him for a long time. Duo Qifei also shook his head when he heard the words. Obviously Xiao Yang has been locked out of the house, and it is not easy to disturb him. Okay, let's go. Tomorrow will be the day when the 4 continents contest will be announced. The 4 continents contest will be a prosperous world. I hope you can all gain something. Du and Tianhong said with a smile. After finishing speaking, the 2 also slowly went down. Another place, Shiyun Pavilion resident. Asshole. You actually took out the treasure of our Shiyun pavilion for a human-ghost combination? And the combination of human and ghost has been robbed by others. In the hall, Mu Yunfei, the pavilion master of Shiyun Pavilion, scolded Mu Shi with a slap in the face. Son, I'm afraid I'll be slapped to death. The value of the combination of human and ghost is extremely high, but the value of the quasi-immortal art of their treasures in the pavilion is also very high. Although it is precious, it is okay to exchange it. After all, if you can get some useful things from the combination of human and ghost, it was enough to wipe out the loss, but now that both people and money were empty, Mu Yunfei couldn't help but be violent, and could not wait to slap Mu Shi to death. Father, that Xiao Yang who forged the sword Thunder Valley is very cunning, and the child is planted in his hands. This time the Four Continents competition, I will definitely kill him completely, and then everything will be ours. Mu Shi looked at the father, who was so angry, was immediately frightened, and hurriedly explained. You! Only with your strength. Mu Yunfei sneered, obviously from the second fight between Mu Shi and him, he knew that this Xiao Yang was by no means an easygoing person. Father, isn't there that thing in our pavilion? Mu Shi asked. That thing is quite special and extremely mysterious. This time, I will give you that thing. If you fail in the end, then don't come back. A cold snort suddenly emerged. Baby thanked my father. Mu Shi heard the words, and immediately smiled in his heart. With that thing in their Shiyun pavilion, let alone 1 Xiao Yang, even 10 Xiao Yang, I am afraid they are only the souls of his own men. West of Xifang City. On a quiet forest pavilion, a middle-aged man sat in it quite gracefully, an elegant guqin stood slowly, and the man sat very indifferently playing the qin. Sect Master, are you looking for me? At the next moment, a rather young man came slowly, and a refined and indifferent aura emerged from the man's body, revealing a weak scholar-like aura all over his body. Wearing a guqin, on the guqin, countless mysterious lines emerged, obviously not extraordinary. Liu Yun, you have been under my door for decades, right? The man who played the piano said softly, his voice was very indifferent, but it was filled with a special rhythm that made people uneasy. The powerhouse of the 5-star fighting immortals. Sect Master, it has been 30 years since I joined your door. Back then, the disciples' family was destroyed. Fortunately, the Sect Master took in and cultivated the adult Cheng Neng, so that the current scene of Liu Yun has been achieved. The man called Liu Yun smiled slowly, but between the words, an extremely tyrannical force slowly revealed. This seemingly weak scholar turned out to be a strong man who set foot in the late Samsung Dozian. This time, the Four Continents competition, Wei Tianyin Sect will use you as the main force, and Nebula as the auxiliary, to conduct the Four Continents competition. The next moment, the man who played the piano opened his mouth. Master. Disciple He De He Neng, senior sister Xingyun entered the field earlier than me. I am afraid that this command will be handed over to me. Liu Yun couldn't help being shocked when he heard the words, and declined. Xingyun did start earlier than you, but her temperament, coupled with the reasons she was born as a girl, doomed her to be unable to dominate the overall situation, so this time the heavy responsibility will fall on you. The middle-aged man seriously speaking. But if this is the case, senior sister Xingyun. After a while, Liu Yun asked in doubt. Don't worry. I will naturally explain to her. This four-continent competition is an unprecedented one. There are a few tyrannical guys on the East Continent, plus the tyrannical forces on our West Continent, and even the ones on the North Continent. A few overlord-like forces. I am afraid this competition will not be so easy. Wei Tianyin's sect haven't stepped into Li Soul Realm for a long time. Whether you can enter Li Soul Realm again this time is up to you. After finishing speaking, Fuqin said with a slow smile. The disciple will take orders, and the master will definitely not be disappointed. Liu Yun nodded slowly when he heard the words, and then a look filled his pupils. This Tianyin sect, above the Western continent, can also be regarded as a superpower, with one-handed guqin and rhythm skills, no one can match, and Liu Yun and Nebula are two talented disciples under the sect. As the test time is getting closer, the forces of all parties are also restless. To the north of Xifang City, the people living here are the most powerful Beiju forces on the four continents. The forces on Beiju are mixed, but there are only a few who can really be called overlords. It can be said that he is the true overlord of the entire Yinhunshan. Ghost Valley. This is a force that has been broken into mystery. It is said that its first-generation head was founded by a strong man who cultivated dark attributes above Li Soul Realm. Therefore, in this force, most of the people who practiced are strong men with dark attributes. Darkness attribute. This is a rather strange attribute, with a strange and treacherous nature, even in the great world, there are very few, but the dark attribute is also extremely mysterious. It is better to hide the figure, and at the same time has a very tyrannical the destructive power of. As for the more mysterious nature, no one knows, and the dark attribute believes in the Lord of Darkness and hates from the dark plane. Although the legend about the Lord of Darkness and Pluto has always been just a legend, and no one has ever confirmed it, but according to rumors, the Pluto and the Lord of Darkness do not seem to be the same person. The two of them seem to be the supreme of the darkness. The strength of the two is undoubtedly the same as that of the Soul Eater Lord. As for the true and false, it is unknown. Master. In the dark environment, a pair of waves flashing with a strange luster slowly emerged from a quaint wooden door. Tianju, you are here. Hearing such a delicate voice, in the darkness, a looming old figure turned slightly. This seemingly simple movement gave the latter an extremely tyrannical oppression. Obviously this an old figure with decent strength. I don't know what the master is looking for from me. The next moment, the young man asked slowly. We, Ghost Shadow Valley, have not had any disciples who can enter Li Soul territory several times, so this time, we can't be on the list. And there was a strong prophecy in the valley that only after entering the Li Soul realm can one find the passage to the underworld. And once the passage to the underworld is found, I am afraid that I, Ghost Shadow Valley, will be enough to step into the peak of the Seven World. Suddenly, the old man couldn't help showing a frenzy. Do you have a chance to find the entrance to the underworld when you enter Li Soul realm? Tianju frowned when he heard the words, and then muttered to himself. The location of the underworld is extremely mysterious. Even in the great world, few people know it, but the underworld rules the darkness and countless undead creatures, so it is also an extremely tyrannical area in the great world, and they Ghost Shadow Valley has inherited a lot of dark power. If it can set foot in the underworld, I am afraid that it will gain even greater power. Master, I will work this matter. If someone blocks it, I will kill it. Tianju said coldly, his voice full of pride. It is obvious that this guy's strength has reached the perfect level of Samsung Dozyan. Level. Go on, after the rules of the competition are announced tomorrow, it will be the real highlight. The voice sounded, and suddenly the dark room slowly returned to calm. Pluto, where are you? As your devout people, we must let me find the entrance to the underworld. At the last moment, the strange power of darkness also emerged. One Soul Palace. At this time, on a quiet back mountain, two young disciples slowly appeared here. The two young disciples have a strong demeanor like Ling Rant's righteousness, which is obviously the meaning of heroes, but this Wanshian Palace's style is also quite legitimate, and is respected by many strong people in Yinhunshan. Junior brother, the Four Continents competition is about to begin. The slightly older man glanced at the endless meteor night sky in midair, and sighed with emotion, his voice filled with a hint of coolness. Competitions in 4 continents, naturally there are winners and losers, it's normal. But why is the senior brother sighing? Another disciple asked suspiciously. The 4 continents competition, every time it is a big fight, blood is flowing into the river. If it is possible, I would rather not participate in this competition. Remember the last time, our One Soul Palace was competing with Ghost Shadow Valley for the only place. The last 2 brothers died together. The price was too huge. The older disciple recalled slowly. Let's go with the flow. Didn't the master say that life and death are destiny, wealth and honor are in heaven? Senior brother doesn't need to care. The little disciple seemed a little confused and comforted. Then I wish our sect a victory this time. After speaking, the two of them also laughed. The strength of the two of them turned out to be in the ranks of the late Samsung fighting immortals and consummation. Soul Beast Alliance. Father, I won't let you worry about this time the 4 continents test. With your newly cultivated special soul beast, it can be said that it is unmatched when combined with the child's current strength. In a luxurious room, a middle-aged man and a rather young man, 2 people sat in it slowly, and the 2 men were arrogant and wealthy. The Soul Beast Alliance is also well known in the entire Yin Soul Heaven, because they are responsible for cultivating and raising soul beasts, and thus using the soul beasts as weapons. It can be said to be powerful and unmatched. The strength of the newly cultivated soul beasts is good, but it should not be taken lightly. This time the 4 continents test, you must go all out. Only when you enter the Li Soul realm can I rest assured. The middle-aged man said slightly. Obviously, even if the wealthy Soul Beast Alliance is also very important for the 4 continents competition. After all, this is a big change in the ranking of the entire Yinhunshan power, so it is not unimportant. Yes, father. After speaking, the 2 of them also laughed. Now the newly cultivated soul beasts from their soul beast alliance are combined with the special existence of a trace of dragon blood, and dragons are also in the soul beasts. The status of hegemony, coupled with the complete strength of its 3-star fighting immortals, is naturally confident in the competition. At this time, in the most remote forest overgrown with trees in the northern part of Xifang City, several figures slowly emerged here. In the forest, dozens of pale figures stood, as if they were not human, and in the center of those figures, there was a strange cyan sedan chair. Silhouette. Sir, a letter from the headquarters. The next moment, a pitch-black ghostly energy emerged, and then turned into a blurred figure and appeared beside the sedan chair. The Sect Master asked you to cooperate with the people of the Hidden Soul Society this time to capture a guy named Xiao Yang on Dongju. There was a gloomy smile in the black air, and after finishing speaking, a silver scroll floated directly to him. When he left, Xiao Yang's information was recorded on it. A guy in the early stage of the 3-star fighting immortal. Is it worth letting my dignified 3-star fighting immortal complete powerhouse take action? Are the Sect Master and the guys from the Hidden Soul Society all rice buckets? The living dead just glanced at him, and after discovering the details of the strength above the scroll, he couldn't help but feel a wave of disgust on his pale face. The Sect Master said that this person is no trivial matter, must not be taken lightly. After the Black Chi finished speaking, it disappeared instantly. The Great Seed. Soul Power. It seems that this guy is also interesting. Let's go. As soon as the voice fell, the eyes of the living dead were wriggling, and he immediately saw some details of Xiao Yang, so the dozens of puppets around him were wriggling, and immediately lifted them up and faced a certain place. Go. And the strength of this guy is not only the perfect Samsung Dozian, but also the real genius in the notorious 1000 puppet ghost sect in the entire northern continent. He is the aboriginal inhabitant of the ghost world. There is a deep resentment, so it is also privately, doing some things that people and gods are angry with. In addition, there are still many forces involved, but only the above forces are the real backbone of this 4 continents competition. Until this time, the entire Tianming Villa has become completely popular. After a night of silence, it was the second day in the blink of an eye. The morning glow scattered over Tianming Villa, which also heralded the arrival of a new day. Morning everyone. On this day, the people of Dongju Forging Knife Thunder Valley, the Yu family sisters, Liu Qing, Duo Chifei Muge and other core disciples all began to gather early. Where's Xiao Yang? As everyone gathered in the hall, they suddenly realized that Xiao Yang was the only one missing, so Yun Chidai asked with a slight wrinkle. I'll go and call him. Duo Chifei glanced around and found that only Xiao Yang didn't come, and immediately laughed. Hey, it's not too late, right? In an instant, Duo Chifei just opened his legs and was about to leave the hall to look for Xiao Yang, when Xiao Yang suddenly pushed in from the hall door, but behind him, it seemed that he was still following him. An unfamiliar figure. Oh, who is this? Du Tianhong, who was sitting in the first place, just saw the man behind Xiao Yang, and his eyes narrowed. Obviously, he felt a strange aura from this man. This is my brother, Xiao Gui. Xiao Gui, come here and say hello to everyone. Xiao Yang slapped Xiao Gui with his hand and immediately smiled at everyone. Since Xiao Gui was brought back to his residence by Xiao Yang, he has been taught a lot of common sense by Xiao Yang, and with the peak power of Soul Eater, Xiao Gui's aura and appearance have changed a lot, unless the strength exceeds that of the 6-star fighting immortal. Otherwise, the identity of Xiao Gui's combination of human and ghost will not be found, so Xiao Yang is also at ease to take him with him. When everyone heard the words, they nodded with a smile, but this Xiao Gui's strength had reached the middle stage of the 3-star Dozian, which made everyone gasp. Other people, it is only the initial stage of Samsung Dozian or even lower. Since everyone has arrived, let's go. After a while, Duo Tianhong also smiled at the crowd. Dongju will win. Suddenly, everyone together with the enemy slowly stacked their palms together, making a rather bright sound. The strength of Dongju ranks 3rd, and most of its disciples are only the strength of the early 3-star fighting immortal, while the lowest Nanju is basically a 2-star fighting immortal. It is more complete and strong. Xifang City exists around Tianming Mountain Villa, so at this time, many strengths of Xifang City are heading towards Tianming Mountain Villa in the center. There, the rules of this competition and the passage to enter the competition ground will be announced. Tianming Square, this is a huge square, with a huge area of several thousand meters. At the beginning of every 4 continents competition, the rules will be announced again. This day, it is only morning, and it is already here. Overcrowded. It's really lively. The people in Dongju had just arrived here, and they couldn't help but sigh when they saw the crowd of people. Let's go here. Du and Tianhong looked at the center of the square with a smile on his face. At the center of the square, dozens of seats were slowly placed, while Du and Tianhong led a group of disciples, passed through the crowd, and faced the center. Go. Squeeze what? Xiao Yang went from the periphery to the center, and naturally received many complaints from the strong. It turned out to be the owner of Dongju Valley Forging. Please come in. Immediately, the soldiers who were in charge of vigilance immediately separated the crowd, and then brought Xiao Yang and the others to the center seat. Yuanzong. Shiyun Pavilion. Xiao Yang and everyone just came to the seat and sat down, and suddenly saw Yuanzong, who was quite familiar, and Shiyun Pavilion, who had some grievances. Ha ha. Are you all in a hurry? Suddenly, as more and more figures slowly arrived, in the center of the square, a white-haired old man slowly walked out. This old man seems a little familiar. Is it the one outside the medicine pavilion? Xiao Yang couldn't help but muttered in his heart. This old man is one of the few veterans in Tianming Villa. He controls a lot of power, and it is said that he is also the manager of some special places. Although his strength is similar to mine, if he really fights, I am afraid that the outcome will be lost. It's hard to say. Du and Tianhong said. So strong. Everyone nodded slightly when they heard the words. Everyone, welcome to Tianming Villa. In an instant, a dazzling light burst out from the old man's body. At that time, the whole person rose into the air, and the bright voice resounded throughout the square like a bell. Wang Om. Following Tian Laro's actions, the place suddenly became quiet, and the eyes of countless powerhouses were all staring at the old man above the sky. Thanks to the trust of the owner, the old man will be the head of this competition. This 4 continents contest is mainly based on the experience of suppressing demons. The next moment, the corner of Tian Laro's mouth wriggled slightly, and then a dangerous arc appeared on the corner of his mouth. What? Suppressing demon prison? It is said that in the entire Great Thousand World, there are only 17 demon suppression prisons, and all of them seal the real powerhouses among the evil races outside the territory. This 4 continents competition allows us to enter them. Will this be too dangerous? Tian Laro's voice just fell, causing a shocking panic. Needless to say, the terror of the demon suppression prison is clear to them all. Suppressing the demon prison? Xiao Yang immediately frowned when he heard the words, obviously a little startled by the words of the old man. The location of this competition is the demon suppression prison sealed and suppressed by our Tianming Villa. The demon suppression prison in our Tianming Villa is the 11th demon suppression prison, and it is titled Poisonous Temple. It is the king of the foreign evil clan whose strength is as high as the emperor-level powerhouse among the foreign evil clan. The next moment, Tian Laro Zaidu opened his mouth, and his voice was full of endless majesty. Emperor level? Enough to be comparable to a human 6-star fighting immortal powerhouse? At that time, Duo Chifei couldn't help but flicker with her beautiful eyes. Obviously, even the half-emperor level 5-star fighting immortal alien race that invaded Dongju before, if it weren't for the existence of his own father, I am afraid that Dongju would have been ruined, and now this real emperor-level powerhouse, the strength is as high as 6-star fighting immortals. This is the real evil king. Hey, you don't have to worry. There are many evil creatures of the evil race from outside the territory in the Poison Temple Suppression Demon Prison, and this time, the main purpose of this experience is to kill evil creatures. As for the emperor-level powerhouses, they are perfectly suppressed by seals, so everyone no need to worry. And this time, the experience of the Poison Temple Town Demon Prison is carried out in the form of points. The points can be obtained by killing the corresponding foreign evil creatures. The points corresponding to the 3 levels of Tiandi Zun are different. In addition, it can also be obtained by plundering other people's point cards, provided you have that strength. And the top 10 of the points experience this time were directly recommended to Li Huanyu. In an instant, Tian Laro's eyes became gloomy. Obviously, the method of the 4 continents competition this time is very different from the past. Suppressing demon prison points experience. Interesting. As the voice of Tian Laro fell, the disciples below suddenly became hot. Unexpectedly, this ghostly sky actually seals and suppresses a demon-suppressing prison. And it's the 11th ranked Poison Temple Town Demon Prison. The Soul Eater said slowly, his voice full of doubts. Master, what kind of guy is there in this poisonous suppression demon prison? Xiao Yang immediately muttered as he looked at the fiery gazes of many powerful people around him. The 17 suppressing demon prisons are all the kings of some extraterrestrial evil races, and the top ones, even me, feel a little uneasy. As for this poison suppression demon prison, I'm afraid it is an extraterritorial evil king named Poison Demon Empress, said the Soul Eater. The Demon Empress of the Poison Temple? Xiao Yan didn't. Although he didn't know what it was, he could only rely on his intuition to know that this guy was probably also a vicious person. A very powerful guy. But with the seal of Tianming Villa, you don't have to worry, even if it doesn't work in the end, you don't have to worry if I'm here. The Soul Eater said with a dashing smile. After Xiao Yang heard the words, he was relieved, but Xiao Yang knew that among the evil tribes outside the realm, there were many strong people with strange nature and their special powers that allowed them to face the most powerful people in the world. Even if they were defeated, it will not be obliterated by it. So in order to weaken the overall power of the evil race outside the territory, the strong man in the world, the Demon Suppression Prison was born. The so-called Demon Suppression Prison is a method used by some powerful people in the Great Thousand World to seal the king of the evil race from outside the territory. However, Xiao Yang clearly remembered that when he was looking for Ghost-Face Soul Flame, he had the honor to enter the 15th Demon Suppression Prison. The images like still linger in Xiao Yang's mind. Big brother, what's the matter with you? Xiao Gui on the side was indifferent, he just noticed Xiao Yang's abnormality and asked. It's fine. Xiao Yang slowly shook his head. It is said that the Demon Suppression Prison is full of countless evil creatures from outside the realm, but at the same time, there are many strong people in our great world who have fallen into it, and those strong people were all tyrannical and powerful in their lifetime. The mantle also fell into the Demon Suppression Prison, so if you enter it this time, if you have the opportunity to find the heritage of some of its strong men, I am afraid you can get some benefits. Duan Tianhong said. Oh. Does the Demon Suppressing Prison still have such benefits? Xiao Yang smiled slowly at the corners of his mouth. After all, none of the Demon Suppressing Prisons he entered before had such a situation, and if this is the case, the Demon Suppressing Prison experience seems to be like this. Get fun. It's natural. Duo Tianhong also laughed. Apparently very few experts knew the news. Everyone, do you still have any questions about this 4 continents competition? After a while, Tian Laro Zaidu asked the powerful people. Obviously, the rules about the 4 continents competition just announced are naturally unavoidable. There is none left. Suppressing the demon prison. Points. The relics of the strong in the world. When all the contestants heard the words, they also stared at Tian Laro with fiery eyes. Since there is nothing to do, then I announce that this 4 continents competition will start immediately. In an instant, a sound like the sound of thunder was conveyed throughout the space. I remember that today is the day when the rules are announced, isn't it the official opening tomorrow? Some strong men also shook their heads. Hee. You don't know anything about this. Today, Tian Laro is the director of this competition. Naturally, he has the final say. Some figures kept talking. It doesn't matter, it starts today, that's today. In an instant, many strong men were not hesitating, and their eyes were fixed on the figure of Tian Laro in the sky. Suppressing the devil's key, open, and about a few breaths of time on the body of Tian Laro, the nearly endless source of grudge filled out in an instant, and then formed a scarlet shackle on Tian Laro's chest, the shackles on top of it, countless dense mysterious patterns decorate the shackles extremely sacred. The key to unlock the Demon Suppression Prison, the Demon Suppression Key. The strength of this guy is really getting more and more terrifying. In an instant, as the voices of some powerhouses fell, the old man's body suddenly became magnificent, and the superpowers containing the laws of heaven and earth slowly slowed down. Slowly diffused from above the shackles, and then a giant silver space gate suddenly appeared in the square below. Suppressing the demon prison, open, Tian Laro's voice burst out, and the shackles were projected directly at the silver space giant gate, so scenes of extremely tyrannical sealing power emerged. Is this the entrance to the demon suppression prison? The countless disciples present looked at the door of space full of tyrannical seals, and couldn't help but feel a tinge of palpitations in their hearts. Obviously, there are some things that could threaten their lives. In an instant, Xiao Yang and Du Chifei were the most obvious. The power of holy flame and reincarnation continued to emerge from the two of them, apparently sensing the boundless evil power in the demon suppression prison, and thus the resulting fluctuations. Everyone, if you are ready, then this 4 continents competition will begin. Tian Laro looked at the many contestants below with satisfaction, and immediately smiled. Let's go. The next moment, the 2 Liu Yun from Tianyin's sect took the lead in squirming, and then swarmed directly into it. Let's go too. Immediately, watching the strong men in the field pour into the demon suppression prison, the other strong men nodded slowly. Fengyu, You wait and bring our disciples above the East Continent to come together. Let's explore the way first. Let's go. At this moment, Duo Chifei showed extremely tyrannical dominance, and rushed into the demon suppression prison together with Xiao Yang, Xiao Gui, the Yu family sisters, and Liu Qingmuge. This time the Four Continents competition is truly unprecedented. I hope you guys can succeed. Duo Tianhong looked at the few people who entered the demon suppression prison, and immediately spoke slowly. Boom. The Silver Space Gate contains an extremely tyrannical power of seal. The power of the seal is obviously used to target the four-star fighting immortals. Therefore, in this four-continent competition, the strongest person was also selected. Limiting the level of Samsung Dozian's perfection, if it is strong, it will be excluded. Even so, when Xiao Yang and the others first came into contact with the gate of space, a heart palpitations that penetrated deep into the bones also emerged from the bottom of their hearts. Strange. The ancient Qiankuan Array's formation stone actually made such a strange movement. Could it be that the ancient Qiankuan Array really exists in the demon suppression prison? In an instant, everyone slowly supported Xiao Yang, and then asked Xiao Yang, "If I can get the Qiankuan ancient array, it will also be a great help for me." Xiao Yang, who was protected by his soul power, muttered to himself, and then walked away to the inside of the demon suppression prison. This time, the demon suppression prison also it is quite a grand event in Yanhunshan, so countless powerhouses from the entire Tianming Villa were dispatched to ensure that there would be no problems in the competition. It is a pity that the powerhouses of Tianming Villa are shrewd, but they have forgotten the guys from the Hidden Soul Society in the Sea of Dust. At this time, they have been hidden in the demon suppression prison with the powerhouses of the Soul Palace. As for their purpose, arresting Xiao Yang might be one of them, but he might also have some ideas about the strongest person in this town, the Demon Queen of Poison Temple. And the so-called Poison Temple Demon Empress, who fights alone, may have the name of the king of the foreign evil clan with her 6-star fighting immortal level, but when fighting in groups, she is like a world-destroying evil king, unmatched. This video will end here.